U.S. LNG plays a tremendous role both socially and economically. For more than a decade, here in the Cameron Parish port, Cheniere Energy's Sabine Pass facility has employed thousands of people. Many of them live within a few miles of the facility site. With LNG being exported from Sabine Pass to more than 30 countries around the world, it's not only our local economy, but the regional, national, and global economies that are positively impacted by this project. In terms of social impact, after Hurricane Rita decimated our parish in 2005, and then again 3 years later when we experienced more devastation with Hurricane Ike, Cheniere Energy and Cameron LNG provided countless resources to our local community. The Johnson Bayou School, which is approximately 10 miles from Sabine Pass and about the same distance from Cameron LNG, was completely destroyed, and Cheniere Energy provided temporary buildings for our students and also constructed a rural health clinic. In the wake of COVID-19, Cheniere Energy has once again given generously. They have granted $50,000 to our Regional Community Foundation and $10,000 to the Cameron Parish Council on Aging, providing direct assistance to individuals and businesses who need help. Sempra's Cameron LNG project has for several years provided scholarships to students in Cameron Parish. For some of those students, higher education would be out of their financial reach, and Cameron LNG is helping to make it a reality. COVID-19 is a global pandemic. It is currently and likely will continue to have a huge bearing on liquefied natural gas and the oil and gas industry globally. From my perspective, it seems those projects who are nimble, creative, and willing to continue to push forward toward permitting and final investment decisions despite this crisis will be the ones who come out on top. I anticipate there will be much pain and gnashing of teeth in the industry, but the bottom line is that the demand for liquefied natural gas will not simply disappear. So the question is, who will fill that need? Obviously, those projects that are already permitted, have reached FID, and are under construction continue to look very good. Those projects that have not reached FID yet will likely need to refocus their energies. The big question is, how do they do so while person-to-person contact is prohibited in response to COVID-19? When contracts and deals are so severely derailed by social distancing, travel restrictions, and those who may be involved who might be ill and not being able to participate. The global LNG industry will be on a pause because this health crisis has disrupted trade flows and effectively shut off the ability of U.S. developers to meet face-to-face with prospective customers in Asia and Europe, for example, to secure commercial agreements to support their projects. That has combined with an already challenging market environment that has, despite low international prices, yielded a weaker than expected demand. According to the West Texas Intermediate, which is the U.S. benchmark price, we saw $20 a barrel last week. That's something we have not seen since 1999. And back in January of this year, we saw $61 a barrel. So now we have a drop of more than 66% in the last 90 days compared to today. The U.S. and the rest of the world's producers have so much surplus oil that we wonder where we will store it all. This situation has a direct impact on us here in Cameron Parish, Louisiana, because we have one of the two national strategic petroleum reserves right here. But it seems filling the reserve here would only provide short-term relief. Industry experts are saying oil and gas companies are canceling contracts and letting workers go. This is very troubling if we imagine what will happen to oil and gas production if Louisiana's related workforce is reduced by 60 to 70% because of this. So in January of this year, there were roughly 34,000 people working in the oil and gas industry here in Louisiana. Those jobs created spending that has far-reaching ripple effects. I read a quote from the director of Louisiana's Oil and Gas Association this week that said he heard from one of the operators in the oil and gas industry that if prices have not recovered to $40 a barrel by the beginning of June, we are in for a bloodbath. For us in Louisiana, this impact would be horribly significant because for every $1 drop in oil over a year's time, it results in about $12 million in state revenue. In Cameron Parish, we sent more per capita to the state government in severance tax than any other parish in the last year. We continue to have a significant portion of our economy tied to traditional oil and gas and liquefied natural gas. I'm an eternal optimist, so I keep telling myself the situation could always be worse. But how much worse is still yet to be determined. With so many of us across the world working from home, my tip for all of those having to work from home would be to include physical activity. Moving our bodies is essential to mental and emotional health, not to mention our physical health. What good will all of us in the LNG and oil and gas industry be if we are not well, physically, emotionally, mentally? Even if you are isolating in a small apartment with no access to the outdoors, do squats, practice yoga, use canned goods to do curls, just break a sweat. I know for myself, exercise also gives me a chance to consider challenges from a different perspective while I'm not sitting behind a desk. It's an opportunity to clear my mind and to refocus. I wish everyone good health in this time and always.